Hi, I'm Andrew Najari, and I'm going to be talking about SwellInfo, a surf forecasting system. This is an overview of what we're going to talk about. The system classification, its boundary diagram, the systemogram, its structure and visibility, its spatial arrangement, evolution, its life cycle, and possible innovations for the future. This is the home page of SwellInfo.com. Here you can pick the spot you want to forecast for, anywhere in the Western Hemisphere, and check out his forecast. So this is the forecast in Massachusetts, and here it allows you to look at a chart showing you the swell info with its height, swell direction, wind speed. Over here it shows you the swell height, charts for wind direction, buoy data, and current ocean temperatures. SwellInfo is a physical, non-living, and man-made system. It's also a white box system because you can see all the parts of it and look at where they get their weather data from and where they get their buoy data from, like the National Data Buoy Center. This is the boundary diagram for the system. The system itself is enclosed within the data region. The inputs for the system are wind data from the weather stations and swell data from the buoys that they get. So the data from the waves moving up and down, the direction and the height at which they oscillate, go to the buoys, and from this data they are inputted into the computer algorithm which produces the SwellInfo page. From there, user feedback can be given to the SwellInfo system to adjust their predictions for maximum accuracy. This is the systemogram for SwellInfo.com. The two main inputs that it starts with are the weather data services and the regional buoy systems placed throughout the oceans. The weather data is collected by the National Weather Center, and from there they produce data on the wind speed and direction, ocean and air temperature, and info on any current storms. The buoys go to the National Data Buoy Center, and from there they turn that into information on the swell height, swell direction, and information about the tide. Other input are local beach cameras, which SwellInfo gets access to and posts on their website. All this is entered into the computer algorithm, which uses data to determine information about the size and quality of waves and sets up the web page. The program produces an hourly swell graph, wind maps, the ocean temperature and wetsuit advice, a storm tracker page, and live footage of your surf area. These are the outputs produced by the computer program and put onto their main homepage. This right here is the hourly swell graph, which shows you the height of waves and the wind direction at each hour throughout the day. On the side, they give you an overview of the conditions which the program determines given the wind direction and the swell height. Down here, they use the sea surface temperature in order to give you a wetsuit recommendation. Here, they collect the weather data and put it into a map in order for you to be able to make your own prediction about the spot if you know more. Here they show you the buoys from which they get their information. Here, the website posts all the live cameras in the local area. Unfortunately, it's dark out now, so the camera would not work very well. SwellInfo is a relatively new system that's still building and improving upon itself. They do this by adding more locations, gaining more access to local cameras, and recently they've developed a smartphone app along with areas for videos, pictures, and blogs. SwellInfo is a hierarchical system. The metasystem is SwellInfo itself. Within it includes the system for the wave quality and height chart, which comes from the subsystem with the wind, temperature, swell, and tide tables, and the elements that gather all the data in order to make SwellInfo what it is come from the buoy systems and the National Weather Data System. This is the system lifecycle. It began with a recognition of the need for an accurate wave forecast. The risk associated with this stage of the life cycle is making sure that this is something that people want. The next stage is developing the concept. The concept is for wave data for spots everywhere using systems already in place, like the buoy and the weather system. To do this, they designed the interactive web page and the computer algorithm which determines the swell quality and height in the third stage. The risks associated with this stage are making sure that the algorithm is accurate. The next stage is production, and in this stage they set the website up for use, and the risk associated with this is making sure that the website is easy for users to use. The next stage is deploying it by making the website available to the public. The risk with this is that SwellInfo still has to make money, and their solution is to add ads on the side of the page. The next stage of the life cycle is users operating the system by checking their surf spots. And the risk with this is that users must know how to use it. And the last stage is the retirement of the system. An ethical consideration with making SwellInfo was that it might take away from local shop forecasts in your area. But to solve this, they added links to local forecasts so you can use their videos and their personal reports. Stakeholders along the way include investors, workers, and the surfers who use it themselves. Possible innovations for the future of this system could include adding more cameras at spots and the ability to change the camera angle and zoom, which is only available on a certain few spots. Also, another innovation would be an area where you can put in a personal report if you were just at the beach looking at the surf. Thank you. This concludes my presentation on SwellInfo.